live. 1 second. I'm just checking on my phone because my girlfriend Melissa, who maybe you have seen on videos, is coming today with her kids and her boyfriend and one of her kids' boyfriends. So, like the Brady Bunch. Good morning, beauties. Oh my goodness, all around the world. How is everybody? It is actually a cooler day because it has been very mild here. And my gosh, it's been an interesting week. I have been flat out, of course. But you know what? When I say flat out, when I'm busy, I'm always at my own pace. I won't do anything if I don't feel like doing anything. And 1 second, I want to see what's going on with these crows outside. Oh, it's mommy and baby. So I won't do anything unless I feel like it, like at my own pace. And it's just when you do that, when you are at your own pace, you don't realize how busy you have been and what you've been up to. And I have been busy. Yesterday, they had another market, like a garden market, that my mother has always said to me, oh, you need to be more active in your local community. I'm thinking to myself, you guys are my local community. I don't need to blend or, you know, go and fit in. But anyway, I did, because there are a lot of, kindred souls everywhere. And it was nice to be out, but I get, I was only there for maybe 4 hours. And at that point, I feel like I want to go back home. I want to check on my chickens. I want to be home, like check on things. I don't like to be away for hours and hours on end, especially days. I like to be at my own space because I know my animals need me. And even though I tell them I'm going for a few hours, they still want me around, and I want to be home. So I've been busy, and so I did that yesterday. So I took all my soaps and was selling my soaps, and I'm so pleased to hear from you guys that you're loving my soaps. And yeah, I have many different unique varieties that you would have never heard of, because a lot of the ingredients I'm using, they're only local to this country, at least, or to especially this state, this environment. And so it's not whoops, I need to turn this off for a second. Is my sound okay? I hope so. Whoops, hold on. How do I, let me say this. Hold on, just have to make some, what have I done here? Yeah, so anyway, I hope my sound's okay. Am I live? I hope I'm live. I think I'm live. I'm just going to write hello. I hope. Yes, okay, so that's working. So anyway, yeah, selling soaps, different varieties, and like I said, a lot of the ingredients is, like for example, I have an egg and ochre soap, and the ochre is only from around this area, yellow hematite, and also eggs from my chooks. And then I have a quandong, which is only native to this country, and I've never seen anybody put it in soap before. And so, you know me, I'm willing to be a little bit different, a little bit exotic, a little bit, I don't mind taking risks. I don't call it a risk, but I don't mind experimenting. I don't mind taking, like, I don't mind trying something new. And also, so I'm finding, and I'm really trying to change, continually change my home, and I'm wanting to replace plastic. Plastic really kind of grates with me, and uh, of course I can go out and buy glassware or whatever, but I have been utilizing my local clay, and I've made this cool little soap dish. You see, I have little soap dish here now. Plastic. And of course, I can go and buy it, but there's something about making your own homemade thing. So you can see I burnished it after I formed this, and I haven't. This is not fired, by the way. I've got to fire it. I burnish it with some agate, like a polishing stone. You can see it's got a nice kind of gleam on it. Oops, trying to do it. Yeah, that's gonna go fire. And I've been making some pots, some bowls, ritual bowls with legs on them. So using it for dahun, using it for bahur, resins, powders. I just want to store my things in ceramic, in good pots that I make here. So I've been busy. I've been busy. Now I just want to say, like, something really odd happened this week, and kind of a bit of an epiphany. First, I want to say that I've just uploaded some old videos. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying them, and me and the mystery person that so if you don't know of it, a person, so when YouTube terminated my channel, I got emails from people I have never ever heard from before. But this one person had sent me an email because, I mean, obviously after how many years on YouTube, 900 videos, I did not have all of those on file anymore. Especially, when you travel. One of my biggest things that I always seem to run out of space, either on my phone or my computer, because when you're doing big video files, you are using a lot of gig, you're using a lot of space. And I get this email from this person, who I'm not going to name, that they have a hard drive buried with almost every single one of my videos in a garden. Oh gosh. And this is the way the universe works. So we have been slowly transferring files and things, and I've just been uploading as I feel intuitively drawn to. And yeah, it's there for you guys if you want to watch them, if you don't want to watch them, because a lot of it's old, and I've changed. Even though my core of who I am is still the same, I've changed. I mean, of course I've changed. What is it, like I'm 10 years older? I'm in a different country now. I look different. I sound different. I've got a farm. Everything's different. Everything's different. But the outlook has always remained the same, and that is to always and to try my best, no matter what circumstance, to be in balance with planet Earth, to live in harmony with planet Earth. And I found that as I was doing all this traveling, and as I was living in places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi and these places in general, I long to be more with the earth. I long to be in nature. I long to have some land that I could cultivate and nurture. And I mean, it got to the point where I would be dreaming of. I remember I had one dream of being back in Santa Barbara, in Montecito, in California, and it was a misty rain in this dream, and I just remember sniffing in this dream and feeling the dampness on my skin, because it had been like 2 years before I had seen rain being in Dubai. I mean, it hardly ever rains there. And I was just longing to feel rain, to see rain, to feel that moisture in the air, because it doesn't happen over there. And so I was starting to dream about it. So anyway, you know, like, so anyway, this person had all these videos. And so now I'm uploading them. But you know what? I've uploaded them and I just leave it at that. I've already moved forward from that. But if I know a lot of you guys enjoy watching them, so it's for you, just for peace of mind. And I know those older videos are how some of you guys found me, you know, connecting through those. And you know, it's just how it's happened. So having that faith in the universe, just re-uploading things. And you know, but I have moved forward, and I'm, you know, not really, I haven't watched them, I haven't seen them, just uploading and letting them go, letting them have their own life. But anyway, as I was saying, this is how the universe works. And something very strange happened this week, and it was beautiful, very beautiful. So you know where I am, I'm in Australia, and we have a lot of snakes. We have a lot of snakes, and it's that time of the year again, and they're out. And I knew it was probably going to be only a matter of time until I was going to see them. See one, see them, and of course I have seen them. And I was hoping not to see them around my house. Well, look, the strangest thing happened the other day. So I'm doing the washing. I'm hanging the washing on my clothesline. And being a clairvoyant, you know what's up. And I just knew, it was a still day, slight breeze. I'm out hanging my washing on the line, and I just feel a snake around. You just know it. As a clairvoyant, you just know it. And I looked over my shoulder. I looked over this shoulder. I'm looking around. I can feel her. I can feel her. And I say her, I'm going to get into it, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling eyes on me. I can feel it, and I keep turning around, but there's nothing there. There's no snake, no nothing. And I hear a little rattle, and I think it's the snake, and I turn around, and it's just Grassseed swaying in the wind. But I'm feeling her, and then I just dismiss it. I'm just like, oh, whatever, you know, I'm overthinking things. So I completely dismissed my clairvoyance, as I do, and I come back inside. I've been planting seedlings, Lebanese zucchini, and so I had them in my kitchen sink, and I take them out, you know, like a minute later, take them down in the paddock, put them in containers, and just let them germinate. Well, within a minute of coming back up, there she is, this beautiful, big, brown snake up near my house, trying. She knew I was coming. She knew I was around, and she was scared, and she was trying to get out away from the house and through this fence. She was trying to squeeze through this tiny gap straight away, like she was scared. And I felt so bad, because my initial instinct, I saw a piece of wood, because that initial fear of me seeing a highly venomous snake around my home, my initial instinct was to try and scare her away. So I picked up a little stick and I threw it at her. I didn't hit her, but I threw it at her. And you know what? As soon as I did that, my higher self, my guides, I just felt them shouting at me, saying, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you act out of fear? Why did you do that? It just hit me so hard, and I stood there and I thought, you idiot. here you are, talking about and blending with planet Earth, and yet you cannot accept all her creatures just because you have this stigmatized fear of needing to get rid of any dangerous creatures because you have a fear of getting bitten, or you have a fear of them being around. It was such a pivotal moment for me, and I just thought, my God, she has taught me the biggest lesson. And you know what? As soon as I went inside and really thought about it, I developed this direct communication with this snake. And she felt so sad. I felt so sad. She felt so sad that I rejected her and that I don't accept her, because she tells me, this is my home, this is my home, this is my home. I just felt so awful, so awful. And I say she because she's a she, and I call her Violet. I call her Violet, and she's okay with that. And I just developed this communicate. It's so hard to explain, but I developed this communication with her. And I said to her, after really kind of digesting what had just happened, I told her, I am so sorry for acting out of fear. And see, the thing is, because I've been, and I'm not blaming it on this because I should know better, but that fear has been brought up in me since a kid. Living in the desert, we're always told, a good snake is a dead snake. You don't want to have snakes anywhere around you. And, everyone in my family, everyone I know, if we see a snake, people just try to kill it. I don't, because they were terrifying. Like, they would terrify me. And, but this one, the Violet, she taught me the biggest lesson, and she felt so sad that I didn't accept her. And now this is the thing. She showed me where her den was. Clairvoyantly, she showed me where her den was, and where it is under a pile of corrugated iron. I have a stack of this iron out in my paddock, and it is a paradise for snakes and reptiles, and I know she's there. And so I went out after, getting this information from her, and I said, you know what? I am so sorry. I am so sorry that I acted out of fear, and you're welcome here. We can coexist together. I accept your presence, and I'm so sorry I acted out of fear, and we can live in peace together. And not only is she hearing this, but then I feel that she said, I have been protecting you. I have been protecting you. She's almost like a symbol of protection. She is a symbol of protection. And in many ways, she has protected me. She's saying she's giving me that word, protection, or like a visual. It's hard to explain animal communication, but in many ways, she has been the protector. And it was her that I saw last year. And she gave me, as soon as you pick up on the snake and you see the snake, you start getting visuals of, clairvoyantly, of their nature and their habit. And so what happens is, when she wakes up from under the corrugated iron, she goes along the stone wall. In the midday sun, she goes up along the stone wall and up under the house to the chicken's bowl to get some water. So I'm getting this impression. She's showing me this. And then she gets a drink, and then she likes to lay in the vine on the wall, the stone wall, because that sun is hot. But in the vine, she can kind of condition the temperature that her scales are taking in or absorbing. And then in the afternoon, she kind of moseys her way back to the den. So she's got this area where she likes to be. She has been down in the cellar again, because she's the same one that was in the workshop. She's the same one that I saw in the workshop last year. And that again is another symbol. She's around. She's protecting. She's here. And so just because she is a venomous animal That's her only defense. And just because she is so venomous doesn't mean that I have to fear anything. I don't fear her now. And I had such an acceptance and such a peace and such a clarity that day when this happened. I feel so at ease with her around because I know, you know what, now that I've developed this communication, I know where she is. So I walk out in my paddock and I don't fear that I'm going to see a snake or I'm going to step on a snake because I know where she goes. I know where she goes. And I even last year when I saw her, like the difference I feel now is like night and day. I treated her before when I saw her last year like she was an intruder, like she was someone that she's not allowed to be here. And you hear it on my videos that I was talking about. Saying if she's in my domain, I'm going to try and kill her. And I'm just like, no, this is her domain as well. Just as it's the chicken's domain, just as it's the other bird's domain. This is about coexisting harmoniously with Mother Earth. No matter how venomous or dangerous something is. The spiders as well. If you live near the sea, a shark, you've just got to use your common sense when they are around. If you see a pack of sharks swimming around and they're hungry, you're not going to go and jump in the water. Like, they're going to do what they're going to do. Like, you've just got to, they're wild. They're wild animals, and their instinct, all they want is to survive. They want food. They want water, and reproduce. That's what they do. And so this stigma, this fear that has been drilled into me ever since I was a kid, is to kill dangerous animals. And okay, they're dangerous, but if you leave them alone and let them be in their space, they are not going to come and attack you in your house, just because they want to attack. Like, they are made with that frequency of love, no matter how dangerous they are. And they will only act aggressively if they are cornered, if they feel they are under attack. That is their defense. What would you do if you're cornered? You're going to try and defend yourself. So, she knew I was coming up that garden path even before I saw her. And she was clamoring to get out of my space. She didn't want to be around me. And it was at that moment that I felt the sadness after I threw the stick at her, that I just didn't accept her. And I rejected her. And I thought, you know what? This is exactly the lesson I needed from Mother Earth. If you want to live in harmony with Mother Earth, you have to accept all her creation and all her expressions of creation. And so Violet and I, we have an understanding now. We have a peace. She's here. She's around. She's a brown snake. She's a highly venomous snake. But so long as I know where she is, and she knows where I am, she's going to leave me alone. She's not going to bother me. She's only going to come out when she is either too hot, she needs a drink. So, in the summertime, she will most likely try and go down into the cellar. And I just need to put in place provisions so she doesn't do that, because I plan to go down there. And I think she knows that I do a lot of work down there. So we both got the fright of our lives last year when we saw each other. She was in my workshop. I was walking barefoot, wearing a skirt. I just got off the phone to Dale Franks. If you've read my book, Eyes of the Scarlet Rose, you'll know who Dale Franks is. She's still in Montecito. And I just remember closing the phone and then seeing this huge brown snake on my workshop floor skirmishing around and trying to get out. And the shock was just, skipped a beat. My heart skipped a beat. So anyway, it was such a pivotal moment for me. And of all people, of all people, I should know better. But it was a big lesson for me because, there's so many things about, being out here on your own, and, if danger happens or if anything happens, it's that fear of not being able to get help. Well, Violet, this brown snake, she's taught me, that all is how it should be, but to not fear her either, just because she's so venomous. She deserves to live as well. And 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 it is. I feel like it's such a crime to take life just to take life. Unless you are consuming it, unless you are eating it, unless, there is a reason for it, and not just to kill because it's dangerous and you're acting out of fear. It's criminal. It's something that just violates, the code of existence. I feel it's just wrong, and she has been a big lesson for me this week, and so I have never had so much clarity and peace of mind with having this snake around as I do now. And because I remember last year, I had this gap from my wall to my floor, and this fear of a snake coming in while I was sleeping. I was so paranoid that I turned this place upside down because I kept thinking I was hearing noises, and I couldn't even get reason, think reasonably, and listen to my clairvoyance, because the fear of seeing this snake was was so paramount that it kind of just clouded out everything else. And like it, yeah. So she Violet has been my big lesson, and now it's funny because I know where she is. I know where she is, and I know when she's around. Just like I knew the first time when I was doing the washing, I just knew she was watching me, and she was. I get the clairvoyant impression that she was under the house. She had gone to get a drink. She was waiting for me to leave so she could come back and get out of the garden to go back, along the stone wall. She was watching me. And I had no idea. I felt her, but I couldn't see her. She was under the house. So, my goodness. And then I saw her a few minutes later. It's unbelievable the way the universe works. So, big lesson this week. Big lesson for me: to coexist and live in harmony with planet Earth, you have to accept all her creations, all her expressions. Everything deserves to live. Everything deserves to experience life, and it's only us that acts out of fear. It's only us that acts out of fear, and thinking an animal is bad or venomous. Just because it's venomous is nothing. You can't let this overrule your life. And Violet has been my biggest lesson this week, like unbelievably, in a big way. Because you know what? Everyone shares the same fear out here. Everyone anywhere where we know there are this brown snake, the common eastern brown snake, or the taipan. We know how deadly they are, and so that fear is in everyone. And it's common talk on the street. Oh, she saw a snake this week, and oh, they had a snake on their veranda, and it's this fear mongering perpetuation that is no good. It's not healthy, because they deserve to live and exist just as we do. And so Violet has been my biggest lesson this week. And this is her home. This is her home, and she can have a little mosey around whenever she wants. And I know where she is. Clairvoyantly, I feel her. I feel her, and I know her habit. I know her routine. She has a routine. As my chooks have a routine. Animals have a routine. They're very simple in in their daily objectives, and that's to eat, to feel good in the sun, sit in the sun, and just to live. That's the whole purpose, not just them, but us as well. We just need to live, not to survive, but to live. You know, people often ask me, what's my purpose here? It is to live. It is to live. We live on heaven on earth. And you might laugh at that, and you might think, oh my gosh, you know, but believe me, there is heaven on earth. I'm seeing it, I'm living it. And I'm not saying it's not hard work, because it is, but I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor now. It's choosing what to focus on, because I know what is happening in the world. I don't need to even watch news to know what's happening. I hear it in music. If I'm out in town or something, I see it in magazines. I see it. Not that I even read it, but you know, just passing a magazine stand, and you see it. It's there. I know what's around me, but I do not choose to focus on that. That is not my world. That's not my place. And so we do live on heaven on earth. It's just a matter of what you focus on and what you choose to divert and put your energy into. And I have never felt so much ease and peace with who I am, what I'm doing, than I do now. Gardening, talking to Mother Nature, nurturing Mother Nature, and having this land. It's been the most, it's just been the most wisdom and love, that love frequency, always being out in that immersion of that love frequency has just done things to me. It's just changed. It's just different from, I mean, of course you can get it when you have your own garden or something, but when you're out in it, like a farm, or not even farm, but like in the forest, like in wild nature. I'm talking about wild nature. I'm not talking about somewhere suburbia. I mean out. When you're out and you see it, you just feel it and you can't ignore it. And it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So it's been a wild week for me in many ways. And I've been, the front of my face has kind of been irritated this week. I look swollen because this grass seed that's around, I had to mow it out of my paddock because it's just messed with my sinuses. And it's always this time of year, changing of the seasons. I felt very doughy, very thick in the front of in the head. And yeah, the grass seed is everywhere. It's everywhere. So I've mowed it out of my paddock, tried to get rid of it, cut it out, and it's better. It's getting better, but it's still there. So a lot of people around the area have hay fever and, you know, like blocked noses and headaches, and yeah, not fun. So anyway, that's what's been going on. Hey everyone, just reading your comments here. Can you hear baby crow out here? That's two baby crows. Good morning, Zia from Norway. Sound is okay, good. Looks very nice and organic. What color is it going to be after it's finished? What are we talking about? Maybe this? This is the color it's going to be. It's staying that color. I think maybe you're talking about that. By the way, your jewelry is amazing. Wish I could buy it. It's all so unique and magical. Thank you so much. Yeah, the whole inspiration for the jewelry creation was that I couldn't find what I was looking for, and what I liked was in museums. So I thought I have got to make it myself because I can't find it. And so that's what got me into jewelry making. Hello, Boho Witch. Hi, Kristen. And the garden found a way to send love back by playing a part in returning your missed videos. That's right. Ah, Gnostic Warrior is here. Hey, honey. Angry Birds is here. Hello, gorgeous. Yeah. Angry Bird says, in Albanian culture, a house snake means good luck or protection for the members. Yeah, you know what? It's amazing. And then he says, if you remove it or kill it, then something bad will happen to the house, like it's gonna burn, or to the member. But our snakes ain't venomous, I think. Yeah. Look, as soon as I gave Violet the chance, and as soon as that moment of throwing the stick and the shouting of my higher self and my guides and myself, it was so overbearing, and it was like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? That bad feeling, that awful feeling of purposely trying to hurt something. But it was such an impulse to just throw the stick, because my fear had for a moment overtaken me again. And then the realization of, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why are you allowing this fear because I don't fear anything. I don't, but this snake, like anything to do with snakes, I just harbored this fear, and it has been with me since I was a child. And it is with everyone around here. Like I said, everyone fears snakes. And then that whole realization that no, you can't fear them. They have their purpose. They have a reason for being. And it was the biggest lesson that universe showed me that day. And I have never, ever felt such peace and ease with this situation now with Violet. She felt so bad and so sad that I rejected her. And it was awful to feel that. And I went out to her den, and I knew she was there, and I just apologized to her, and I said, I'm so sorry. I acted out of fear, and I intended to hurt you. And I said, I hope we can coexist together. And then she says to me, I have been protecting you. I have been protecting you. And it was just such a moment. It was such a moment. Leah is here. Good morning. Athena is here. Just tuned in. You know what's funny is that animals that seem harmless can actually be more aggressive than others. Dolphins are a perfect example of this. Absolutely. It's there, it's definitely there. Agnes. Hey, Agnes. Hey, my girl. Farah is here. Salam, Habibti. Shlonich. Tyler is here. Hi, Tyler. I was asking about the soap dish. No, so the soap dish, once it fires, because this has got a natural iron oxide in this clay, I'm actually probably going to gill these little motifs here. But what I really wanted to do is, because I want it fired, just because I don't because this is very fine, and I've hit this a couple times and it's cracked. I just want to fire it so it's strong, and then I would love to do a natural glaze on this by using orange peel, bananas, salt, copper carbonate, and putting it in like a wood fire. But we have a fire ban here, and I'm not allowed to light a fire. No one's allowed to light a fire until April. Because here, when fires start, there's so much grass. And because I'm surrounded by crop fields and things, no one's allowed to start a fire. Like, you will literally get a whopping fine. You'll get huge fines. So I can do it in my kiln, at least fire. And then if I want to do a glaze, I'm going to have to wait until next year. So I may just, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But I have a whole bunch of bowls and incense bowls and dishes that I need to fire as well. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it even with this burnish, you can see how nice, and trying to get there it is. Whoop, there. Do you see that? That burnishing with the agate stone, I mean, that's going to give it a nice finish anyway. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it yet. Hi, Lupa. All my love to you also. Thena says, I also wanted to say I just watched the Patreon video. Thank you to the moon for talking about Moldek and Lemuria. It clarified some things I did not know. The history of Earth past really does fascinate me, and it's sad that the majority of what has happened is covered up and hidden away. Absolutely. You know what? The history we're taught is so different from what actually happened, and people don't even know that, you know, even Lucifer, the name Lucifer means the fallen one, and it refers to, Moldek means, you know, the fallen one, and it did fall. Moldek exploded. It was the planet in our solar system. There, you know, are apparently 12. We did have 12 planets. And one was blown up, which was Moldek, in between Mars and Jupiter, which is now the asteroid belt. And they say that even some of the rings of Saturn has remnants of planet Moldek. So, you know, and in many ways, we're doing the same here again on our planet. And there's so much going on that I am not surprised that there are young people like our age going back to the land. They feel the tug from Mother Earth to go back, no matter what their jobs are. Having a bank account full of money does not fulfill them anymore. You know, what can you do with money? You buy things, you accumulate things, you consume, and a lot of it is just pointless stuff. And that's what I mean. I could easily go out and buy something, but the satisfaction of making something from the earth with your own hands, and getting in that zone and letting your fingers touch something that's, you know, millions of years old, and then you go through that process, that alchemic process, when you add fire, of changing the chemical composition of this clay, and it becomes ceramic. It becomes, you know, something that you can eat off of, and, you know, store oils and water and product in. Do you know what I mean? There's something so satisfying about that, and you don't get that when you go and buy something off the shelf. You might enjoy it for, you know, like, I don't know, a day or so, but then it's not the same as when you make it yourself. And it's just such a lovely process to sit and be still, and allow nature to come and mold your fingers around the clay and make it. And I need a drink. Hold on. So anyway, it's yeah, I'm having constant epiphanies out on this land, and now my roses and my palms, they have never looked better. And this week, I would speculate this week, I feel psychically this week is the week that I'm going to see my first rose of this season. I mean, I've got some roses that were in for last year that survived the drought. They have grown, and I am not exaggerating, they have grown like 2 feet in a month. The growth has been unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen faster growth on a rose than what I've seen now. And, you know, I would say there's a couple of attributes to that, but for sure, the major one would have to be the urine, using the pee on your plants. I put it at the base of the soil, and that is full of nitrogen and potassium and phosphorus, and the plants just go berserk. My roses have gone berserk, and the palms have gone berserk. It's just unbelievable. And again, that's you don't even have to go and spend money on fertilizers. That is the best fertilizer. And I don't have any fungus on those roses. I don't have a problem with animals, like little pests on my plants, like aphids and things. My roses are stunning, without disease. And it's unreal. It's unreal. So, yeah, gosh, there's so much love in the earth. There is so much love in the earth, and I could never ever go back to a different way of life other than being on the farm. It's unreal. Kristen says, I had never chatted publicly before, but I always resonate with you and have for years. Oh, thanks, Kristen. I just want to say thanks because you helped me make it okay to be on a path I am on in seeking my truths. And that's right. And while what I do may not be for everyone, the best thing you could do for yourself is just to do what you want with your life, whatever that is, and not to think that you need to do something else in order to support that. If you believe you need to, then the universe will hold you to those beliefs and will honor those immediately. Everything's honored immediately. And as soon as you question that, that's when you change the frequency. My faith in the universe has been so steadfast for so long. I am living proof that magical things can happen. I don't fear of ever going without, because I never have. Especially now being on the land. Like, Mother Earth has provided so much for me, more than any job has ever done in my past, more than anything at all. I feel so at ease and content. It's unbelievable. Athena says, do you think that a person's diet could compromise the urine, or can anyone use their own for the plants? Anyone can use the urine, but if you are, the only thing is that I would be concerned about, if you're taking medications and antibiotics, I'm not actually sure how much of those things are diluted, whether that goes into the soil. I need to do some research in that, but I don't take pills or vitamins or anything like that, so I don't ever worry about that. But if you are on medication, I don't know, you'd have to look that up about antibiotics or medication being, I don't know how well they are filtered through the urine, if they are completely filtered out, or there is still remnants of those chemicals in there. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. Mundo is here. Hi, Mundo. Angela is here. Yeah. So getting back to the whole, just before I start this subject, I just want to see where my girl Melissa is. Now, I'm pretty useless with all these kind of things, but just need to see where she's at. Is she moving yet? No, they haven't moved yet, which is good. So I've got some time. I'm spying on her. Yeah, so in order to get what it is that you want and to have anything your heart desires, you really have to prepare the emotional framework, the emotional network. And like, for example, if you want to be in love, if you want to have the most beautiful relationship in your life, and someone that loves you so hard and so deep and makes you feel like the most incredible person in the world, you've got to feel that kind of love, and visualize that kind of love. Like, not even visualize, but more so, you've got to feel that. You've got to feel that kind of love for yourself and for things in order to receive that, because you can't receive what you are not the vibration of. You cannot receive what you are not the vibration of. I mean, that's what it comes down to fundamentally. So if you are, if and that's what I mean, like with nature and being out in nature, I am submerged in that love frequency. And I have so many beautiful, loving things happen around me. Um, like I just, it's unbelievable how it just translates into everything else in your life and to other parts of your life. But if you, like, for example, for relationships, you need to be the vibration of what it is that you want to receive. And a lot of people think, oh, if only I had this, I would be saved. And, oh, I need a person like this and I will feel complete. Nobody else should be completing yourself except for you. You should feel complete on your own. And if you don't, it, it's not a good thing to think that somebody else is going to do it for you, because then you create this unhealthy dependency on people to make you happy. And that's not fair. That's not cool. And so, you know, you need to feel contentment and and peace on your own first, than to thinking someone else can provide it for you. And because that's a huge pressure for somebody else if they knew that. Oh, if you leave me, I will never be happy. And oh my gosh, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and people wonder why they experience the same types of relationships and the same type of people, like cycles throughout their lives. It's because of the emotional framework that you have set up. Nobody else is responsible for it except for you. And so when you hear somebody talking about, oh, this person did this to me, and oh, I blame them for that, and this is not my fault, and whatever, it is entirely your fault, because you have put that out there. You have put that out there. You have created these experiences. Nobody else has done it except you. Even if bad things happen with that other person, in many ways in every way, I should say, you have attracted those situations to you because of your emotional framework. There's no way around that, because, like I say, you bring into your life what you are the vibration of. And the universe always honors that on every single level, on whether it's beautiful things or ugly things. And you bring that to yourself. You attract what it is you are the vibration of. Bottom line. So sometimes people don't want to hear that, and it hurts, and all experiences are neutral, and it's us that gives things the definition. And this is such a big subject. I think you need to just keep things simple, and get back to nature. I almost want to plait my hair online. I'll do it after. I want to get my hair out of my way before Melissa comes. So, gosh, anyway, big subjects. But I should kind of finish this live stream now. I've been doing it almost for an hour. Hi, Slavic Devil. I had to go back and watch the snake bit. Just be careful. Snakes cannot change their nature. Yes, I'm very, very careful. Don't worry. I have my common sense. And believe me, I watch where I walk. But she knows when I'm around, and I know when she's around. So it's not like I'm going to go and hang out and sit near her den when I know she's there. Like, She knows my space, I know her space, but I no longer have fear for her. And I no longer harbor this feeling of needing to get rid of her or displace her or put her somewhere else. This is her home. And I'm cool with that. And she protects me. So it's not like I'm going to become this snake charmer or anything, but I respect her space and I respect her purpose and her position here. This is her home, and that's all there is to it. So I am happy to coexist with her, and she knows that. So anyway, I am going to. I've been busy. You know what? You know I've been busy, but I have been busy. I've made this. This is actually a muffin recipe, but because I don't have muffin trays, I just put it in my, like in a glass baking dish. This is a date muffin slab, maybe. I've made it for Melissa and her kids because her kids love my cooking. And so I made it for them to eat today. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've totally just remembered. I have had bread dough in my oven since last night, and I totally forgot to get it out of my oven last night. Oh my gosh. I have got to look at this. Oh my gosh, what have I done? You know what? It smells like alcohol. I wonder if this is actually any good. It smells like beer. Smells like beer. You know what? It's actually alright. That's okay. It smells good. What would they have done in the olden days? They would have left dough out for days, maybe. Sourdough. I'm gonna knead that and put some more flour with that, and I'm gonna cook that up. If anyone's got any advice on dough that's been left out overnight, well, let me know. That's the dough fermented. I think so. Okay. Anyway, my hands are kind of doughy now. I need to braid my hair. And I can't believe I forgot that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to have to deal with this dough now. Anyway, still good for a ritual. Ah, yes, it'll be okay. Yeah, so anyway, Beauties of Earth, I'm going to go and deal with this dough, braid my hair, and get ready for my girl, Melissa, to turn up. If you don't know who she is, if you go to the video that I uploaded last week, 25,000 subscribers, that was obviously with my old channel. Melissa is the one that I'm dancing on the road with. She's wearing all black, and her eldest daughter is who I'm dancing with at the end. So anyway, go and say hello to her, and I will go and deal with this. Love you guys. May you always be blessed by the supreme love and truth of the cosmos. And if you need answers to anything you seek, go back to nature. Love you guys.